Hey y'all, I hope all is well. Hope everybody had a good work day. You know I can't stay away from y'all too long or whatnot. So I want to talk about damaged goods today. And we might hit on a few other things. Might rant a little bit about some other stuff, so don't hold me to it. So I know today, at work, after I got out of a meeting with my boss, one of my coworkers was like, "Ooh, Alice, you look like a baby. You just, you just like a little girl. You got your little, your little plaits, and you just look." I was like, well, maybe because I ain't got on my makeup or nothing. And she was like, "I don't know, you just look like a little girl." And I was like, "Well, let me go put on some makeup so these little boys can leave me alone." And she just got so tickled. And I was like, "No, seriously." And she's like, "Girl, you stupid." And I was like, "Hey, it is what it is." And she was like, "But you know what, girl? Believe it or not," she said, "I'm in the 50 range. I'm hitting 50." And she was like, "Believe it or not, but it's a lot of men in their 50s still trying to find themselves." And I was like, "Well, dang." I was like, "Well, just kill the hope." I'm trying to keep hope alive over here. And here you are with this, like, I thought it was just, a 20s thing, But she reassured me that, no, that's a myth, So, with that being said, because I know a lot of times, we don't really start to realize how damaged people are until we start to work on ourselves, until we, start to heal ourselves or start to, focus more so on our past decisions and when we're trying to make more effective decisions, more healthier choices or whatnot. And I say that specifically because, like, a lot of people think that it's just women that are damaged, but it's men that's damaged just as much as women are. Okay, so we definitely don't want to get into a specific gender when it comes to damaged goods, because both of the genders deal with the things equally. It's not one more damaged than the other. It's a thing that we both deal with, men and women or whatnot. And it goes back to, like I was talking about in my previous video, the bloodline. It's a bloodline issue. A lot of things that we deal with, we're not just dealing with our stuff, but we're dealing with our parents' stuff from past generational stuff, issues or whatnot that our parents haven't dealt with. So now everything is starting to come to the surface, and a lot of our stuff that our parents didn't deal with, we're having to deal with. So that's why you can have a 50-year-old that's still acting like they're a high school boy, or a 30-year-old act like they're, you know, 9. You know what I mean? Or a woman that's in her 30s act like she's, a 12-year-old. So, I mean, it's different things that come into play when you're dealing with damaged people. And some people, are damaged beyond repair. And when it comes to dealing with damaged people or being in toxic relationships, like, you really have to be mindful of these things before you start entertaining people, and a lot of times we don't really pay attention to it until after it's too late, until after we end up getting stung. You know what I mean? And you be like, man, because sometimes, especially when you're gifted or whatnot, or you have a certain heart, you tend to look at the best in people, and you don't see that the Jekyll. The Mr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde, or Dr. Hyde. we don't see the dark side. We don't see the shadow side in people. And sometimes we end up getting smacked by it or blindsided by it later on. We be like, dang, like, they showed out, like, but at the end of the day, we know we all have everybody have different sides, and as I mature, I understand that certain people bring out certain sides in you. So when you identify people that'll make you act a fool, like make you act real stupid, make you act ignorant, then you remove yourself from people that will make you bring up your lower self, especially when you want to be in your higher self and not be the little girl that person might bring out of you, or the little boy that a person might bring out of you. You want to be able to identify certain things like that, because like I said, I am definitely not the woman I used to be, because like I said, everybody have their light and their dark side, no judgment. But the issue becomes when you stay there, or when you don't learn from your mistakes, or when you don't learn to change your perspective, and you learn to change how you deal with people. But like I said, a lot of times you really don't pay attention to these things until you get stung, or till you have a dramatic or a traumatizing event, and you be like, you know what, it's time to reevaluate. It's time to go back to the drawing board. It's time to see why I am drawn to certain type of people. Why are people drawn to me? Like, what is it that I need to deal with? Because obviously it's not working. Why am I bringing damaged people to me? And a lot of times you end up coming across people because you have certain lessons that you still have to learn. And sometimes you be tested and you have to see, if you gonna come back down to this, third grader, or if you gonna act like you're a college student. You know what I mean? So like, that's just my synopsis, my little, metaphor when it comes to it. But you just, like I said, like I say, when it comes to, like for instance, some people you be like right off top, be like, oh man, you so unhealthy, like you ain't no good for me. Because why? Because it's like this, like, what it called, like, who's the perfect example? Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, right? Because a lot of people just swear up and down that it was Bobby Brown that influenced her, or even Rihanna and Chris Brown, like this bad boy, good girl, whatever. But truth be told, Whitney already had some of that bad girl in her. Bobby just brought it out for everybody to see. Let's just talk about it. You know what I mean? So you have to be mindful of certain relationships that'll make you be stupid. Like, real talk, I'm telling you. It's funny, but it's not. So I'm saying it because from experience, you know what I mean? Like, especially when it comes to like dealing with my ex-husband or something like that. Like, when I say that man, ain't nobody can't nobody bring out the fool in me like he can. Okay, like I'm almost embarrassed, y'all, to even like I can't even. I'm just saying. So when I finally identified it, y'all, because I'm laughing because I'm just saying, like, y'all just don't know how much it took for me to get to the point that I am now, because I'm like, something gotta change. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be around here cutting up or around here catching charges or acting a fool over somebody, and shouldn't nobody have that much power over you. You know what I mean? So you really have to think about these things, and identify, okay, this person is a trigger for me. This person, how do I act? How does this person influence me? Are they a good influence or they a bad influence? You know what I mean? And that's why you have to be able to identify certain things, because you will end up, acting immature when you're dealing with an environment of immature people. So you definitely have to learn to check your environment, to be able to identify what caused you to act a fool. You know what I mean? Like, is it in the water? Then maybe you need to stop drinking it. You know what I mean? So it's just little things. Like, I'm being funny and sarcastic, but I'm like, it's real. Like, it's so true what I'm talking about, because like I said, a lot of times we really don't identify certain things until after we've been stung. We've been hit by something and you like, okay. So thank God that I'm just in a whole nother place in my life that not to say that I don't get triggered, because we all get triggered, okay? We're human. It's bound to happen. But when you're damaged and you link up with another damaged person, like, it's like gonna be it's gonna be a show, okay? It's gonna be some love and hip hop type stuff, so it's best for when you identify certain things in you that you detach, and you be like, oh man, this person about to make me relapse. Like, you got to get away from certain things like that, because especially when you don't want to be that person or whatnot. Because like I said, especially because usually when you deal with people, and people really don't understand this, you can see people, they're so sweet, they so nice, you know what I mean? You be like, man, they just like a pure soul, they just so sweet. But I promise you, that person that's really sweet, that's really pure, I promise you, the flip side to that real positive person, the flip side to that, if you see them in their lower self, or if they push to a point that they can be really dark and they can be really evil, or they can be really negative. It's a flip side to everything. You get what I'm saying? So we have to remember that. And that's why I be like, quiet people that don't mess with nobody, like, I be kind of nervous, because I'm like, ain't no telling what they can do if they get triggered. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by you have to take certain things into consideration. When you're dealing with certain things, or when you link up with something that's toxic. What has drawn me to this person? Is it our negative habits? Is it that we was drawn together because we both got the same habit? We both smoke. You know what I mean? Is it because we both like to drink? Is it our sex addictions that's got us drawn to each other? Let's just be real. Let's talk about it. Because a lot of people that we link up with, that we're drawn to, is not from good habits. Most of your friends you probably cool with because, some of the same stuff y'all like, some of the same stuff y'all was doing. Y'all was on that same stuff. You know what I mean? So it's certain things that you have to be mindful of when you start to, and I'm going to do a part 2 to this video, to damaged goods, because it really went in another direction than what I wanted to talk about when it comes to toxic people. But, like I said, you just got to be mindful of the people that we attract in our life and how they affect us, and when you start to feel like you're getting triggered, when you need to pull out, and when you need to go another way, because, you don't want to, regret it, and you don't want to be with people that will make you, change your personality. You know what I mean? So, it's like, some people, they can trigger you so bad, you like, you were saved a few minutes ago, and then when you encounter them, you just a whole nother person. Like, you be like, who is this? Like, if somebody called me on camera without me looking off guard, without me knowing, they'd be like, this is a total different person. You know what I mean? So, like, from that aspect, people that'll really make you, like, Because we all have them. We all have people that will make us just like, you'll be like, you know, like, I ain't know she like to argue. Like seriously, like, I ain't know he like the, you know, like all this. So, like I said, when you have to identify these things when you get to engaging with people, because you definitely want people to bring out the best in you and not the worst in you, because it's just, I mean, who wouldn't want to be their best self, you know? So that's when it goes about, when they talk about the bloodline, you know, and we'll touch on it a little bit more on another level from another aspect, because I definitely want to talk about it from another viewpoint. But when you link up with a damaged person and you damage, and y'all, ooh, Lord knows, don't go to multiplying and having kids, then y'all just having damaged kids, and you know, it's just a whole nother a whole lot of extra issues, you know what I mean, that you created, you know, a bloodline of issues, you know. So I'm a definitely, like I said, do a part 2, and we'll pick up on it. But like I said, just be mindful of it, you know. Just be mindful of toxic people, of people that will make you show up in a way that you don't want to show up or whatnot. So y'all be good.